Charles, always good to see you and appreciate you taking the time. What's your big takeaway from this report?
Well, there are 51 recommendations in volume 5 of this 7-volume, 1,000-page report, and those recommendations look pretty good. I guess the issue really is, will the government act on them? The report is, as you say, quite charitable about these things we know about nomination meetings and disinformation that may have led to different outcomes in certain ridings, and also about how the government apparently did not act on very serious allegations in reports from intelligence and security agencies. She dismisses this as the government is a poor communicator and piecemeal and underwhelming, and she doesn't really know why there were these long delays, or whether one can attribute any malice to the fact that senior officials say that they did not receive critical documents from CSIS and other agencies. But the 51 recommendations moving forward, I think, is the most important thing. And for that, she really suggests that it's important that the government be much more transparent about what's going on so that Canadians can have a sense of confidence in our democratic institutions. So I think if the next government does take her report seriously and act on it, and implements the Bill C-70, which passed through in June, the act respecting foreign interference in Canada, then we might be able to address these very serious concerns about foreign interference in our democratic institutions much more effectively. But it really takes political will. And I would say one thing, with the potential disruption of the Canadian economy due to the Trump tariffs and other measures, it may be that our government will be more inclined to seek more market share in China, and therefore we might decide to prioritize promoting our prosperity with China under conditions the Chinese regime would urge, at least implicitly, which would be don't do the things that Justice Og is suggesting.
Right. Hey, we're going to just play a little bit from the judge as well for our viewers, Charles, to give them a bit of a snapshot of what we heard from her. Listen to this.
Although a few situations involving attempts to curry favor or develop problematic relationship with the parliamentarian have come to light, such phenomena remain marginal and so far appear to have been largely ineffective.
All right, so I'm also curious, now that we know, Charles, about foreign interference, we've been talking about it for the better part of 2 years. We know about these bad actors, China or India, as the case may be. It's out there. Does that help, too, sort of in a transparency sort of way that, all the parliamentarians from all the parties across the country are aware of what's going on, and that gives them a certain amount of, defensive capabilities, so to speak?
Yes, I think particularly the leaked documents that were published in the Globe and Mail newspaper and Global News, Sam Cooper and so on, have really raised awareness about what's going on. I think that, when you listen to a statement like that by Justice Og, it'll probably be the last time we'll see her saying anything public about it. She has a classified version of the report. And as she pointed out, so much of what she looked at were classified documents that cannot be shared with us, and in-camera questioning of people that similarly is maintained secret. So I think that we have to trust her judgment on this in terms of how bad it was with the interaction of parliamentarians with agents of the Chinese state and others, possibly India. But, a lot of people who work in CSIS and in the diaspora communities are feeling that she's being too trusting about what went on, and that there was much more activities that veer into a disloyalty to Canada in the behavior of these people. Of course, we still don't know who the 11 that the NSICOP report said are wittingly or unwittingly under the influence of a foreign power.
Right.
And that is still a bit concerning because we have an election coming up, and I think the voters would really like to have more information about this to they're probably people that one might suspect might be in those 11 who aren't, and we need to clear their names.
Hey, Charles, always good to see you. Appreciate you taking the time today.
Good to speak with you, Todd.
Yeah, Charles Burton there with his take on this foreign interference inquiry and the report issued today.